received.
New era of perfusion is data-driven. Data is what allows perfusionists to unlock the potential of patient-tailored care, enable best practice, and facilitate decision-making. It is our responsibility as market leaders to support perfusionists by building a system where data takes center stage through a combination of intuitive software, accurate sensing technology, and device integration. Data will be a key driver for our future success and will allow us to really meet the needs of our patient, which inspires everything we do.
The time for action is fast approaching. It's all about focus, alignment, and accountability. We're going to support our customers differently, learn how to provide what they need, and deliver beyond their expectations. And this is just the first generation. We have a plan for a multi-generational platform that will continue to bring new features, components, and software upgrades over time.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for breakfast this morning. I wanted to actually introduce Blake Dennison, Perfusion from Texas area. And actually, we're going to be going through our new patient monitor, part of the Essence system, one of the components that is currently in use both in Europe and the United States clinically.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, that's loud. How are you guys doing? Thanks for joining us. I see there's a lot of Florida orange juice drinkers out there. Hopefully the people at home are drinking orange juice in solidarity with the people here participating live. But we have a really cool charting challenge is what we call it for Livanova. We're going to put two clinicians head to head here. There's going to be one person working the data management system, and then we got, that's Jim here, and then we got Floyd over here who's going to be paper charting. I'm actually curious to see how many paper charters are out there in the audience by a show of hands. A good amount, right? We got, I don't know, 50%, I guess we could say. So is anybody's hospital forcing them to become a data management system user in the future? Yeah, okay. Cool. So we got, half of the half are going to be moving to data management system soon, seems like. Well, we wanted to highlight our own data management system here, and so we've got Surgeon Adam hiding in the corner over there. He's going to put us through some clinical scenarios in a second, and we're just going to go head-to-head, friendly competition between each other. We've got Nina over here, our friend with the Clefius system. It's a great high-fidelity simulator if y'all haven't seen it before. So a lot of moving parts, but if it falls apart, we'll wing it. But I think we're going to do pretty good. But I think to start, we've got our friend Nikki here from Livanova. She came from the other side of the planet, the United Kingdom. So she's going to walk us through some first starting information to put into the data management system, and then Floyd, you can get going with putting in your own patient information. So Floyd's got a paper chart. Floyd has a paper chart that came right off the internet, peer-reviewed, so he's getting familiar with that too. So take it away, Nikki.
So this is the home screen for the
So Nikki's walking through the pertinent data that needs to be entered into the patient monitor. There's little orange boxes that indicate the minimum amount of information that you need to put in before you can start a case. There's endless amounts of information. Everything's customizable that you could put in. So Jim here is putting patient name, medical record number, height, weight, date of surgery, populates.
So yeah, we can enter in the date of birth. And then if we scroll across here, we could enter in our physical information, so our height and weight for the patient.
One other piece that I didn't mention is Jim has willingly participated to give us a clinician's eye view of what he's seeing. So we got him
And then
hooked up with some goggles here that can really put you in the place of what the perfusionist is seeing. And hopefully we can demonstrate that you're not taking your attention away from your circuit, your patient, and looking around the room to, paper chart, capture all the things you need to capture. Everything's in line. Everything is ergonomic right with your viewpoint, and you can be safer as a clinician.
So on here we can see our timers. So we have our CPB timer, our cross clamp time. So when you start these, see those come through to the data management system. We have our event entry within the system. So we have here some generic events. So things like the warming, flow down events. Within here we have the lab events, so the lab withdrawal events, so we can enter the blood gas withdrawal time, the ACT time. Within here we can enter in our drug events within the system. So we can click on the events and we can enter the different dosages for the system, and we have preset events in there for the drug entry. You'll always see your event entry within the chart, but also then within your table view as well. To see the withdrawal events, so we can come to the table in here. So when the withdrawal events are entered, so let's put in the blood gas. Here you can see those within the table. And then to enter the blood gas, we can click into the event, and then you can enter in the details for the blood gas that come in. We have in here some of our quality indicators. So within here, you can set some thresholds for some of the parameters that you want to manage during the case. And in here, we have a nice goal-directed perfusion view as well. So you can see the goal-directed perfusion parameters within a chart and table view within the system.
One of the best things about the goal-directed perfusion is that you can set these parameters based on what the surgeon wants or what you want as a clinician. You can say, I don't want my DO2 to go below 270 throughout the case. If you start trending down on that curve, it will actually alert you with a visual indicator, and you can address it in real time during the case. You can keep yourselves accountable as a team, looking back at past data and things like that. So we can revisit that at the end of the case and see how it goes. But
if we need to enter reminders, we can enter reminders into the system. So we can enter in here, we can set some custom reminders during the case. And you'll see any reminders on the bar at the bottom of the screen. We can start also a cardioplegia. So when you start cardioplegia on the system, so if we start on the S5, the cardioplegia event will be automatically populated within the data management system. And when we stop the cardioplegia, you'll see the cardioplegia event highlighted at the bottom of the screen. And you can go in and you can enter the details of the cardioplegia, and you can fill in the cardioplegia details. Okay.
So just a note here, Jim, this is the first time you're really getting to play with this thing today. So it kind of illustrates how intuitive this is once you start using it, and how quickly a clinician can come up to speed on it. And I wonder how we're doing on time. So we got Floyd over here. He's got his paper chart still working. Okay. Dr. Adam, how are you on your cannulation? Getting close? Okay. All ready. Nikki, anything else we need to run through before we get started?
No, I think we're done.
Okay. So that little demonstration just showed how quickly you can get up and running and kind of visually where everything lies on the circuit. So we'll let Jim take a second to actually input that information, and then we'll get going. Jim over here is still checking boxes, looks like. Flipping through multiple pages to get there. Dr. Adam, you want to take it away? I think we're ready to get on bypass here in a second.
Let's go ahead and heparinize, please. How much are you giving? Let me know when you have a blood gas and an ACT, please.
I think before we get started, one other piece I think that we want to do is maybe ask some audience participation if we could get a couple timers from the audience. I think if there's a Team Floyd person over here that could possibly, anytime he takes his attention away from the circuit and is charting, we could have that. Anybody over here can start a timer for me? And then when he looks back to his patient, you can stop the timer. And we'll just keep a on, off running tally. And is anybody, Team Jim over here? Dan? Okay. This clinical scenario will only take maybe 4 or 5 minutes, but we'll see how we land at the very end. So heparin's in, suckers are on, guys, I hope. You probably have a blood gas and an ACT populating up there pretty soon. Looks like we're running 260 seconds and counting. Cannulas are going in a second.
Do we have an adequate ACT to go on? All right, let's go on bypass, please. Cool to 30, please, or to 32, please. All right, let's get ready to clamp, please. Slow down. Clamps on. Back up, please.
So Adam told me he was a fast surgeon, but he's a really fast surgeon, I think. So we're on bypass. We, I think when we get on, we kind of want to make a entry into our, how we're doing on bypass, our hemodynamics, maybe see what our first blood gas looks like. We're cooling down all at the same time. A lot of moving parts right at the beginning, right? You guys have all been in cases that last 20 minutes in totality, and it's just a complete race against time.
In my defense, you said make it realistic.
He's got a good cadence. He's not mad, at least, We got. So, Nina, if you want to pop a blood gas up there, we can mark that down. So Jim here's just working his way through he's made a mark on his patient monitor and said that a blood gas is coming into the system pretty soon here. He's got real-time data running across the patient monitor. It may be hard to see, a little grainy up there, but it's capturing everything he needs to see. Floyd's over here charting like a maniac. Team Floyd, I like it. Blood gas results are up on the screen. Got to write those down for sure. So Jim's over here checking his blood gas table. And Jim, that would normally populate up. I think we're just having a miscommunication with the Califia, but you know. So you would make a mark on your screen, and then it would automatically populate that data in there, and that's all you have to do. You can go back and reference it later if you need to. Floyd, how you doing? Have you got all your blood gas results yet? Okay, so we're still waiting on Floyd here. That's okay. Adam, if you want to. So what do we need to do? Cross clamp. We're cooled down. Got 32 degrees. Hanging tight. Now we're moving on to the next step.
So let's give antegrade cardioplegia, please. A liter.
So heart's quiet there, looks like. We got all the data being captured for Jim over here. It goes automatically into the system. How much he's given, how fast he's given it, the temperature, all the good stuff. Floyd is furious Floyd, charting over here. There's a timer right there if you want to hit your cardioplegia timer too. Yeah, perfect. Yep. So how are we looking? Is that leader in yet, guys?
All right, let's give 500 a retrograde, please. All right. How long since we went on?
I think we've had to both make up a time. We didn't.
All right,
okay,
thank you.
there we go.
Let me know when the retrograde's in. Sure, yes, please.
So for Jim over here, it's minimal effort, right? He's got everything he needs aligned and automatically populating into the system, so he can be really in total control of the patient. He's not diverting himself from, you know, the clinical needs at the moment. Everything is nice and easy for him.
Thank you. We're going to check another gas, please.
Floyd, how you looking? It looks legible, I gotta give you that, so that's good. Your handwriting's better than mine, I will say. So we got another blood gas up, we gotta chart that. So once again, Jim's back to home base. He hit a blood gas, saw the results come across, he validated them in the system, and they're in his chart now. He's back to taking care of his level, his patient, and giving drugs, all the other crazy things that happen during a case that we can't demonstrate here. Communication with anesthesia and the surgeons is happening constantly. Floyd, how you doing? Still working through a gas? I think you're in a good spot though. You got A couple gases charted, a couple times charted. That's good.
Yeah. How long since the last dose of Plige?
So yeah, we're still learning here for sure, but so these are all your quality indicators, right? These are the things that are populating. But you should have a. Usually there's a timer down at the bottom down there. I don't think we hit it to initiate it, but there should be a count up timer that will tell you since your last dose in there.
All right, so flow down, please. Gonna take the clamp off. Clamps off. Back up, please.
So Jim here, he hit a low flow per surgeon, and then you can get out of it just as quickly, right? Yeah. Click there, exit that. Perfect. Floyd, how you looking? Riding away, he says. Okay, so got the clamp off, heart started back up, looking good. Patient's happy, surgeon's happy, I hope. Clinician's happy.
All right, so let's fill up and come down to half flow, please. Go ahead and fill a little more. Come down to a liter, please. You can go ahead and come off. And yeah, you can go ahead and start protamine, please. And they told me to be a little bit testy, so no, you cannot turn the pump suckers off. That's as much testy as I have in me. So while these guys are wrapping up, I took a sales job with LivaNova about 5 years ago, and like a lot of us here, I came to this meeting and ran into some old perfusion school friends that I haven't seen in 20 years, and I volunteered them for this exercise. So I think my turn to the dark side is now complete. So thanks to Floyd and Jim for participating. So.
Okay, cool. Well, that was a super fast case, as we said. Whoops. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Nice job. So our timers. Maybe we could go over how we did. Do you know how much the total duration of the thing was? Maybe 6 or 7 minutes, right? 9.5. Okay. There are timers out there. Okay. And Floyd, how did Floyd do? 3.5 minutes looking at his chart while on bypass. So about 30% of the time, right? Just under 2 minutes. Okay. So, extrapolate that over 3-hour bypass run. It's quite a big difference, right? A long time looking away from your patient, your chart, the thing that matters in the operating room. But I think even with a quicker demonstration or